Welcome back to Recharge with Bret. Today we're going to be talking about CBT. And that's CBT, not CBD. I know what you all thought. Nice try. Today we're going to be talking about cognitive behavioral therapy. And as we continue to talk about wellness and mental health and how to improve and promote through your life, CBT is a great technique that you can use. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is a form of psychological treatment that has shown benefits on a range of problems and symptoms related to depression, anxiety, stress, relationship problems, addiction, even severe mental illness. So what does that really mean? It talks about being aware, your surroundings, your thought, to help control those thoughts and your behaviors to help mitigate some of those symptoms. But really, what is going to be that benefit? Well, I've got some pretty interesting statistical data to share with you. So if you look at a traditional approach to these type of things, talking about prescribed medicine to be able to help with, anxiety, depression, stress, all these type of issues, on average, shows to be a 31% reduction in symptoms. 31%, that's about a third. Not bad. However, if you look at the data for CBT, those same type of symptoms, it showed a reduction of 62%. That's double. That is remarkable. Now, by all means, don't change what you're doing work for you. I'm not saying I'm against medicine. Don't take medicine. You have a headache, take medicine for your headache. If you're on a plan with a prescription, you're having things by your doctor that work for you, continue to work with them. That's great. But let's take that 31% and put that 62% with it. That's 93%. What would a 93% reduction in those symptoms do for you? That could change your whole life. That's why it's so important. Let's talk about CBT and how we can put that into our life. So let's have those vulnerable, real conversations we talk about. So through my career as a telecommunicator, I've struggled with my mental health. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's a very intense job. And outside of this very intense but extremely rewarding job, we also have very demanding lives. I am a father of 3, 5 and under. I have a wonderful wife, and life is crazy. We're in the middle of the pandemic. That's crazy. There's just so much going on. And because you're struggling with something or you're having problems, that doesn't make you unique. Really, that makes you normal. Everybody's dealing with things. Everybody has struggles that they're working through. But by changing your mindset, being aware of your thoughts, helping to try to control those things, it can really help you in your wellness. So as I've been working on these things, I've done a lot of research into mindfulness, resiliency, wellness, positive mental health. And this is not because I'm an expert on it and I want to give it out as a training coordinator. The training programs, our tagline is prepare for excellence, discover resilience, and I'm very passionate about that. But also, it's so I can be a better me, so I can be better every day and interact with those people that I care about. And we're all normal and we're trying to do the best we can. And some of these techniques I've been able to use in my life that have really been helpful to me. So when we're talking about CBT, really what we're talking about is a triangle. So think of a triangle with 3 points to kind of understand how it works. And where they are on the points, it doesn't really matter, just all 3 points. So we've got our thoughts, which how we think controls our actions and our feelings. Okay? Now we talk about our behavior, our actions. How we behave controls how we feel and how we think. And then the last part of the triangle is our emotions or how we're feeling. How we feel controls how we act and our thoughts. So all these things are together. So if we can start to change how we think, it's going to change our actions, behave our behavior. It really helps us understand how everything works together. So let's talk about those techniques for CBT and how we can apply them to our life. So be mindful. Practice positivity. Whatever you practice is what it's going to do. Unlike the great Allen Iverson, practice is important. Whatever you practice is what you're going to be good at, what you're going to be a master at. If you practice positivity and mindfulness and giving people grace, that's what you're going to do. But if you practice being negative, being anxious, being angry, you're going to become a master at that. And you don't want to be a master at that. Be mindful, be positive, give the benefit of the doubt, and give people grace. Being positive is not going to cost you anything, but being negative, it can cost you everything. Next thing we're going to talk about is going to be mental rehearsal. It kind of goes back to that practice and being positive. So those interactions and those things, when we're maybe in our worst self, our shadow self, our not great self, it's when we're reacting, when we're unprepared and you just have that raw reaction. that immediate reaction. But what do we want to say? I didn't feel prepared. I didn't feel like I knew what was going on. Well, take time to prepare yourself. Now, you can't prepare for everything, but there's something coming up. You're having interactions with someone that's not great. Think about how you can prepare. You know the saying, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's what it really is mental rehearsal. Prepare for the interaction to go poorly, the worst it could be. What's the worst thing that could happen? And then think about how you could respond appropriately. If something happens, you're caught off guard, you react with negativity, most of the time that person's going to react, and then the situation is just going to devolve. Work on being positive and being mindful. Really change the way we're thinking of things. Don't automatically jump to that negative place. Something happens, don't go there automatically. You're driving to work, somebody comes in and cuts you off, you're immediately angry, right? That automatic thought, you're not going to change that right now. That's going to be your automatic thought. Oh, that guy's dumb. Oh, that person's ridiculous. You know what? You're angry at them. Don't let that rob your joy. That person that cut you off, they ain't worried about you. They're keeping it pushing. But why did they cut you off? Did they cut me off, Bret, because they didn't like me and they were attacking me? No. They could be running late for work, be their first day driving and they're new and they're doing terrible. Or you know what? Maybe they're trying to go see a family member before that family member's gone. How does that change your perspective? You're driving to work, somebody cuts you off, it makes you angry. Think about changing that thought process. Oh, I can't believe they cut me off versus, man, I hope you get there quickly and you can see your grandmother before she's gone. Don't steal your joy. I was really taught a great lesson, and we got to understand the way we live our lives is how we impact each other. And I learned a really great lesson from a young lady I was fortunate enough to train, Bianca, who unfortunately took her own life. While we were in police dispatch, she had a side of town that she used to work. We had several sides of town, and there was a officer that she did not get along with. They clashed, to say the least. And getting ready for that side of town, that shift to work with that individual, she'd get anxious, get stressed, get kind of all in a fluffle, right? And I knew it was going. We talked about some strategies, and then a couple weeks later, I followed up with her, and she was doing great. And they were joking, and she was talking to this officer. I said, "What did you do? How did you get over this? What's the trick?" She said, "You know what I did? I pretended like he was my best friend. I changed my perspective of how I viewed him. When he did those things that made me mad, I didn't view him as an enemy. I viewed him as my best friend. When your mom, your child, your best friend, your grandmother does something not great, what do? Do we punish them or do we give them grace? We move on." She was able to change her perspective so much with this guy that she went from it being a dread to she enjoyed him. They became friends. What a great lesson. Change how we're viewing things. Make that positive choice and change our thought process. And then last, what we're going to talk about is focus on what's important. Really important. Is social media important? No. Is the crazy news with everything that's terrible happened important? Not all the time. Is stuff important? No. What's important? People, relationships. That's what's important. No one at the end of their life has ever said, in my experience, "Man, I wish I had more things. I wish I had the newest car. I wish I had the newest phone. I wish I had the newest whatever." No. I wish I'd spend more time with my family. I wish I'd spend more time with my friends. I wish I had more experience with people. Those are the important things. We need to work on building those relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. Stuff is great. I got stuff. You got stuff. We got stuff everywhere. But don't let that stuff get in the way of what's important. Stuff is great, but better when we share it with others. Building those relationships, having those times, spending time outside on a cool evening, talking with a friend, going to have a lunch with someone, sharing your experiences, sharing your life with those people. Now, that's not to say alone time's not important. Alone time is important too. You need to have a good relationship with yourself. That's again that mindfulness, that positive thinking, Think about how you talk to yourself. Would you be friends with somebody who talked to yourself the way you do? Are you negative? Are you hateful? Are you angry to yourself and beat yourself up? Or are you positive? We need to be good to ourselves. We need to build relationships. That's what I think we're here for. It's not to collect stuff, but to build relationships and be better people. We need to remember at the end of the day, we're all trying to do the same thing. We want to have a good day. We're trying to get up and go to work, go to school, come home, have enough money to pay the bills, spend time with the people we love, and enjoy life. And there's enough joy for us all to have it. We all can have that together. So let's not fight each other for it. Let's work together to have it. All right, so now let's switch over to our taste test. For the month of June, we've been hitting the Rock Zoa energy drink. So let's pop the top on this one and give it a taste. All right, so we had a good review on our last Zoa drink. Let's see how this one matches up. Oh, that one's good. You know, the last one was super berry-y, and it kind of had that like punch. This is much smoother. Got that real strong orange flavor. I love orange, favorite color, favorite flavor, so really good there. So let's go over our ratings. Last time we had a 3 for the can. This one I think it's going to be a 4. I'm very orange partial. I think it's pretty sharp looking can. The flavor, I think also is going to be a 4. It's really pretty excellent. I like it. Not overly sweet, not a crazy punch, but a real nice flavor. And then the energy output again, I think we're going to do 3 volts there. So overall, excellent energy drink. I think I like it better than the last one. So thank you for joining us today on Recharge with Bret. We talked about CBT. Hopefully those tips were helpful for you. And as always, continue to follow us on nct911.org/training to be up to date on everything we're offering here at NCT 911. Until next time, stay charged.